Hello everyone. We have reached to chapter number 4, reproductive health, and this chapter is going to be the last chapter of unit 1. In this chapter we will study why reproductive health is important, what are the various sexually transmitted diseases. We will also study about contraceptives, why there is a need to adopt contraceptives, and we will also study about assisted reproductive technologies. So we will be moving ahead with the first topic, why there is a need to have reproductive health. Now, to start up with, India was the first country that adopted the family planning program in 1951. Now, this family program is studied under the name of RCH, Reproductive and Child Care Health. So, this term is important and it stands for reproductive and child care health. Under this program, various government and non-government agencies they have tied together, and they go to different places to make the people alert about the marriageable ages, about the safer sexual strategies, about the care of the pregnant woman, and about the postnatal care. Means once the parturition happens, once a baby is born, what type of care should be given to him or her. So this all is done under the RCH program. Now, why there is a need to have reproductive health? There is a need because of the constant development, the infant mortality rate. Mortality means the death rate, right? So infant mortality rate or IMR has dropped down, and so as maternal mortality rate, which is abbreviated as MMR, this has also dropped down. Infant mortality rate means the rate at which infants were dying in the older days. They are not dying. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon for the recent updates. Same rate now because the medical facilities are well developed, and so as the mother mortality rate. Earlier, when medical facilities were not much developed, the mortality rate among the pregnant women were also high. So because of the decrease in both these rates, that means the growth rate is much faster now. And if you see the overall population of India, it has reached almost 1.37 billion, which is quite a big number if you compare it with other countries that are developing. So India is the second largest country if we talk about in terms of population. Thus, there is a need to have a proper reproductive care. There is a need to have contraceptives. These contraceptives will be the one that will stop unwanted pregnancy. So the use of contraceptives is also a part of the RCH program, whereby general awareness for using all the different types of contraceptives is being provided. Here under the RCH program only, the government agencies they emphasize on having 2 children to each couple. So in this chapter now we are heading towards the contraceptives. As I just told you, contraceptives are the various methods which are adopted by the couple, married couple, so that unwanted pregnancy does not stay back, because ultimately, slowly and gradually, the contribution of each individual is important. So we will study now about the different types of contraceptives. This topic is going to be very important from board's perspective. The questions are coming consecutively and they are asking about in detail also. Sometimes the question comes for 1 marker questions in which they ask for small terms. So this is going to be very, very important. So we are moving towards the different types of contraceptives. The first being the natural method. So in natural method, as the name itself is making a sense, that no drug, no injection, nothing will be done. Some natural measures will be adopted and these will automatically act as contraceptives. So let's speak about them one by one. Of course, the first is personal abstinence. So personal abstinence means that with intention coitus will not be done. So why is it not done and when it is not done? It is not done just to avoid pregnancy, because we are studying contraceptive methods. So that means we will be discussing all those methods which can be adopted which will stop the unwanted pregnancy. Now you know that ovulation generally happens on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. If we calculate the average time period, the ovulation period ranges from 10 to 17 days. Means from 10th day to the 17th day of the whole menstrual cycle, there are chances that secondary oocyte is released from the ovary. Now when we were studying menstrual cycle, in the second phase actually ovulation occurred, means in the follicular phase, and there it waited for about 2 days. So once ovulation happens, the secondary oocyte, it waits for the sperm for 2 days, and after that it prepares itself for the next phase of the menstrual cycle. So in personal abstinence, coitus is not done from the 10th day to the 17th day of the menstrual cycle. When coitus will not be done, that means semen will not be discharged in the female genital tract, and when semen will not be there, of course there is zero probability of fertilization to happen. So this method is known as personal abstinence. In boards, they may ask you as what is personal abstinence, so you must know how to define it. Now the second type of natural method is the withdrawal method. In withdrawal method, as the name again making a sense, that just prior to ejaculation, right, just prior to ejaculation, the sperms are, or the semen is discharged outside the body and not in the female genital tract. When the semen will be discharged outside the body, that means the sperm is not going to go in the female genital tract, and if it is not going to go, that means there will be no fertilization at all. So withdrawal method is again a natural method in which semen is discharged outside the body by the male partner, right? And now the third type of natural method contraceptives is lactation amenorrhea. Amenorrhea. Now what is amenorrhea and what is lactation? Lactation we have already read in chapter number 3 after parturition. Lactation is a period when the newly born infant is dependent upon the mothers for his or her diet, because in the first 6 months the infants, they are 100% dependent upon the mother's milk. So the time period when that mother feeds the baby with her milk through mammary glands, this period is known as lactation. Now in lactation, amenorrhea means no menstrual cycle. So when there will be no menstrual cycle, of course there will be no ovulation. When there will be no ovulation, of course there will be no production of secondary oocyte. So in lactation amenorrhea, keeping the concept that there will be no menstrual cycle, coitus is done and generally no pregnancy happens because there is no ovulation. But just to recollect once again, All these methods which we have read here, personal abstinence, withdrawal method, lactation amenorrhea, they are not the safer methods. Means they are adopted, but sometimes if the cycle of menstrual goes wrong, goes up or a little down, means if the days are stretched or if the days become less, then these all calculations they are just going in vain, and this may lead to the pregnancy once again. Barrier method is a one where the male and the female gamete, they will not be allowed to fuse with each other because there will be a barrier between them, right? So this method is being adopted both by the males and the females. So males, they generally adopt it by using a condom, which is a plastic like structure worn on the penis, and this is generally worn at the time of coitus, and this prevents the passage of semen in the female genital tract. Now, barrier method, this condom using is one type of the method which is used as a contraceptive also, and it prevents from sexually transmitted diseases as well. So to get rid of these STDs, condom is generally used. However, in the case of females, diaphragm, wall and cervical caps are also used. So cervical caps, walls and diaphragms, they are used by the females externally at the time of coitus, and all these articles, they act as contraceptives, they act as barrier, and they will not allow the passage of semen in the case of female body. Of course, when there will be no semen, there will be no sperm. No sperm means no male gamete, and sexual reproduction always happens when we will get two gametes and fusion will happen between them. Now, in the same barrier method, sometimes female also uses spermicidal jellies. Spermicidal jellies are the ones which are used to kill the sperms. So at the time of coitus, these jellies are placed in the vaginal tract. So if by chance any of this barrier method fails, means if diaphragm usage, vault usage or cervical cap usage, if it fails somehow, then spermicidal jellies, they will do their action, they will kill the sperms, and ultimately there will be no fertilization. Hope this was helpful to you. We will discuss the remaining contraceptives in the next video. So stay tuned.